Hey there, guys. I'm going to talk today about what to do when life feels out of control. And we've all had that feeling, haven't we, of life is out of control. And I mean, we've only got to look back at COVID and think back to what we went through. Sometimes I'm just like, wow, was that really real? But we all felt out of control, during that period. But what do you do when it feels out of control in your marriage or in your relationship? We've been married for 30 years and let me just tell you that life does change. You know, there's so many changes that you go through in your relationship. Like when I look back, I think, well, there was really business challenges. There was financial challenges that came along in the GFC. Oh, I don't know whether I've got that right. But after every child, there is a challenge, you know, like as you readjust to that new baby that comes along. We've got 4 children. But for me, there was something that was very significant in my life, a massive shift in that kind of come at us, and we kind of had 2 choices to make in that moment. And for me, that was when I was 30 years old. I had 4 children. I think our youngest, Hannah, she was about not even 1. Maybe she was 1. Yeah. So I got told by the doctor that I had cancer, ovarian cancer, and ovarian cancer is what they call the silent killer. So I was very fortunate that, I noticed changes in my body that made me check that out. And so that was a real blessing. But, a couple of years, so I went through all of that and 2 really big operations, the waiting of, all this drama that you have. And then not long after, it was about 2 years later, I had a breakdown. Just, so much was going on in that time. And then I was having chronic panic attacks and like dealing with anxiety, which I had never experienced before. And then we decided to go a lifestyle change, move to Melbourne. My husband, Rick, was finishing Bible college. And so all of that, like being pulled out of my hometown, which I had grown up in my whole life, I knew a lot of people there. And so all of a sudden we're in the city, which is like, wow, in a new place. So there was just such an intense period for us going through all of that in that time. And I remember, it's just like any change that happens in your life, like there's a significant moments throughout that where you really have the choice. Are we going to pull away from each other? Am I going to blame you? Am I going to attack you because I don't feel good? Am I going to accuse you? Is this going to pull us apart, or are we going to allow that to pull us together? And, it's interesting how it's said that your life is a tapestry, and, all we do is see the knots on the back at times. When you turn it over, you see this beautiful tapestry. And although we haven't done everything perfectly, we're very normal. We make lots of mistakes, just like you. There was the significant choices where we chose to pull towards each other, to lean into each other, to support each other. And I very much felt Rick's support in that time, just his love and his attentiveness to me getting through that. And there's times where I've done that for him. And, it really does build a lot of strength, a lot of affection, a lot of trust into, for us, our marriage. And it just kind of really adds a dimension of strength and depth to your relationship. And I'm so glad when I look back at those, seemingly in the time I thought, how am I ever going to get through this? But it was those times where I thought that kind of shaped our marriage. And so what do we do when life changes? We pull towards each other. We lean in on each other even more. And, you know, we've been talking about that in the Marriage Playbook this week. That's the topic that come out of that book. And I just want to encourage you to get the Marriage Playbook, because there's a whole lot of topics in there with a whole lot of communication around it. And one of the things that's so important in a relationship is to learn to communicate through the difficult things that are happening in your life. And so, you know, if you can get hold of that book, which you can get on our website, unbreakablelove.org. It's really going to equip you. It's going to give you the tools that you need, that when something does come up, you're going to know what to do. You're going to lean into each other, especially in the hard times. So have a great day, guys. Keep being amazing, and we'll talk to you soon.